Alright, so this bike right here is the Vanpowers UrbanGlide Standard Edition. There's actually three variants. Standard, what I have here, the Pro, and then the Ultra. And I'll touch more on the spec differences later on in the video. But in terms of who this bike is for, what is the target audience, it's kind of a do-it-all bike. So if you want to buy this for commuting, it's great for that. Adventures, and even exercise. This bike is really well suited for any scenario. As you can tell, this is a step-through design, so getting on and off the bike could not be any easier. And one of the reasons why this bike looks so clean is because the battery is nicely integrated in the down tube of the frame right here. And this is the access point. If you take the key, unlock it, it pops up like so, and it's very easy to take out. And speaking of the battery, this bad boy is 14.4 amp hours, 48 volts. And that battery delivers power to this 500 watt hub motor. Now, as I mentioned, this is the standard, so you have this 500 watt hub motor. The Pro also has this same hub motor, but the Ultra has a mid-drive that's also 500 watts. Some other differences between the models is that the standard comes with mechanical disc brakes. Both the Pro and the Ultra have hydraulics. And the pedal assist sensor is another difference. The standard model is a cadence-based pedal assist, but the Pro and the Ultra have torque-based pedal assist. I really appreciate how this bike comes standard with full-length fenders, front and rear, along with a very sturdy and usable rear rack. Hopping on the bike here, we do have a throttle, thumb throttle on the left side. This bike has a very pleasant-looking large display. You have your speed right there in the middle, and you can toggle through a few different info options to give you your trip distance, odometer, average maximum speed. This is a class 2 e-bike, so we have 20 mile an hour top speed, and we have 7 Shimano gears. If you hold down the plus button, you get the lights to turn on. So we do have an integrated front light, as well as a rear light. And this tail light, regardless of if the lighting is on or off, if you squeeze a brake lever, it activates. Okay, let's ride this puppy. So I'm at my usual testing ground, and we're starting with a bit of uphill gravel. These tires are pretty thin. We're going to see how it does. Hit the power button on the battery, super low down. Hit the power button on the handlebar. Okay, let's just go straight to maximum, mode 5, and do some pedaling. Ooh, okay, yeah, kicked in. Oh yeah, no problem. Okay, that noise is the fender. I noticed it was rubbing before. It's kind of finicky. It's a very precise fit, and I don't have any tools with me. So try your best to ignore that noise, I apologize. But first impressions here is the bike feels pretty good. Very comfortable upright riding position. We are dealing with mechanical disc brakes. Again, this is only on the base standard model. They're not my favorite. I never like mechanical disc brakes because, one, the stopping power isn't as good, but two, they need constant maintenance. The wire stretches, you need to constantly adjust it. What are the size of these rotors? I think they're a little bit bigger. Yeah, they're 180 millimeters, so that explains why the stopping power is a little bit better than I was expecting for mechanical disc brakes. You know, I also thought when I was assembling the bike that this saddle was going to be super uncomfortable, but you can see the amount of squish. It's actually not that bad. You know, I think before we do an acceleration test, I have to fix that rubbing fender. That would not be a fair test. Here's some off-roading. Yeah, I mean, it's a completely capable bike. It's very solid. I don't feel like it's going to shake apart. It's definitely not a mountain bike, but it's capable. Okay, it's the next day. Let me open up my speed app, and I want to do like a 0 to, I guess, 20. So we're going to be doing a throttle-only acceleration test to see how fast we can get up to the top speed of 20 miles per hour. Okay, ready, go. Oh man, this thing does have some kick for just being a 500-watt motor. 16, 18, and it just cut me off. So it took 6 seconds to go from 0 to 20 miles per hour. And the motor is definitely capable of more. The system cuts you off at 20 miles an hour with throttle only. If I begin pedaling, does it go faster? No. So let me give you guys some thoughts here as I ride this bike. So I'm used to more high-powered, fat tire bikes that weigh a lot, have a ton more power. But this thing really isn't that bad to use, even just throttle only. The motor has enough power to do this. But the riding position does lend itself to wanting to pedal. It's very comfortable, feels organic. And the bike being light, nimble with thinner tires, it just feels more athletic. Like if you want to use this for exercise, that's fine. There's probably better bikes for it if you want to specifically only do exercise, but it can handle it. I could also imagine this feeling right at home for commuting. Again, just because of how nimble it is. It has a good amount of power. This road's a little bumpy. I do miss fat tires and rear suspension in this instance. I'm also noticing when riding this bike that it's almost silent. I'm fairly positive this is a geared hub motor, and usually physical gears make noise when they interact with each other. But you guys can listen. It's almost silent. Now let's talk about the battery a little bit here. So this is 48 volts, I think 14.4 amp hours. It has a total watt-hour capacity of 690. And the range is going to really depend on the terrain, how you ride the bike. If you're kind of like me and do a lot of throttle versus pedal assist, what mode you're in. All of that is going to have a great impact on the range. If you're going to be throttle heavy, I would expect, just to give you guys a number, if you're only throttle, like 15 miles, maybe 20 if you're more skinny like myself. But if you want to buy this with the intention of pedaling, so say you want to commute on this and get some exercise, then you could easily expect double that range. And it's really dependent on how much effort you put in. If you do 90% of the work, then your maximum range is going to be like 70 miles. Oh, and this reminds me, this bike, of course, is fully street legal. Class 2 e-bike with functioning pedals, top speed of 20 miles per hour. We're good. All right, let's do some more off-roading here. Nothing extreme, just a little bit of gravel. Yeah, not bad. I think the selection of tires certainly helps if you want to do off-roading like this. It isn't a slick street tire. It's a good kind of all-terrain tread they put on this bike. And yeah, for stuff like this, just hard pack, refined gravel. If you have some trails near you, this bike could handle it, no problem. Yeah, like nothing. Yes, that's the brand new Vanpowers UrbanGlide. A really slick, all-around, affordable, step-through electric bike. Remember, it comes in 3 different models. This is just the standard. It gets better from here. As you move up through the models, you have hydraulic disc brakes, torque-based pedal assist. If you want to buy this for exercise and even commuting, longer distances where you need to pedal or you want to pedal, that torque-based pedal assist sensor, I think, was worth it. And the highest end model, the Ultra, that one's packing a mid-drive motor. But I gotta say, this hub drive, it's pretty torquey. This can handle most situations, even some pretty intense hill climbing. I do like the fit and finish of this bike, just the way it looks. It's a very sleek looking bike. And most importantly, whether you want to ride throttle, pedal assist, it's just a ton of fun. It's smooth, nimble, athletic feeling. I'm a fan of this bike. I think they nailed what they're trying to do here. Good all-purpose commuter slash exercise slash adventure bike, depending on what you want it to be. I'll leave a link to this bike down below if you guys want to go check it out. I think it's going to be an affiliate link, so if you use my link, it'll help support the channel. If you guys enjoyed, before you leave, I'd appreciate a like, subscribing for future content, and I'll see you guys in the next one.